Welcome to Life is Hard TV, the life show for the rest of us. You're watching the cooking channel, and I am Chef Dave. You can find me on Twitter as Chef Dave V. Now, you may have seen me on Golf is Hard TV. Mark and I started up Golf is Hard TV about a year ago. We're really excited to move into 2010. So if you're into golf at all, check us out there. So we're going to start today with just a basic pasta sauce. We're going to follow that up with my meatball recipe, world famous meatballs. Haven't met an authentic Italian that hasn't loved my meatballs as good as grandma's, they say. And that right there is the ultimate compliment. So we're going to do some meatballs today. I'm going to talk about the Italian sausage I get at this place called Ed Stern's up in Charlton, Mass. Amazing, amazing stuff. The best, the leanest I have ever used and ever eaten. It's the best. We're going to talk about some basics in the kitchen, how to prepare foods, how to chop an onion, how to saute an onion. So what we're going to start with is the base of all pasta sauces, and it's very, very simple, and it consists of olive oil. This one here is from Italy. It's got a very nice taste to it, but what I do to cut some of the sharpness of this extra virgin olive oil is I actually add a little canola oil to the pan as well. So right now in the pan, the heat is not on yet. We have canola oil and extra virgin olive oil. We're going to chop the onion. We're going to put it in. Then we're going to turn the heat up. So why don't we get started on that? And so sit back, enjoy. Welcome to Dave's Kitchen. Okay, folks, what we're going to do, I'll show you how the best way to peel an onion and chop an onion. So the best thing to do, you need to have really sharp knives, first of all. A dull knife can be very dangerous, and you can actually slip and cut yourself with a dull knife. So first thing we're going to do is take a paring knife, and we're going to insert it into the onion at about 45 degrees, and just kind of twist it around in your hand and cut the core out on each side. So you got that first side, you got the second side. I've seen a lot of people, instead of doing that, take the knife and cut from right about here, and you can see how much onion we're really wasting. So we're saving quite a bit of the onion. Just cut a slit from side to side. Now you can peel off the top layer or two layers, and then you're ready to take it from there, and you're ready to dice it. This whole thing shouldn't take more than about a minute. And I like to use traditionally sweet onions, Vidalia onions for the sauce. So you got your onion peeled, take it, cut it right in half, turn it on end, you got two halves. Now this is kind of the trick right here. You want to cut it, and you want to make sure that as you cut the slits, you don't want to bring the knife all the way down and go all the way through. You want to kind of leave the back of the onion here intact, and that's the trick to dicing the onion. So you go right through the onion, 1/8 inch or so slices all the way through. Turn it this way, and now you're good to go. Chop it. If you want, you can stick the knife in perpendicular every couple of cuts, and there you go. You got a nice chopped onion, and that's ready to go in the sauce. Now again, I have right now just oil in the pan, and the heat is not on. You don't want to put it in. You don't want to put the onion in preheated oil, because if it gets too hot, the onion's going to burn right away, and you have to start over. So I sliced it, a couple of perpendicular cuts there. Keep those nice small diced pieces coming. Now this looks like it's kind of a lot of onion, but it's really not. It cooks down. And you may notice too, I have a flexible cutting board. These things are awesome. We're going to turn the heat up to medium, and we're going to drop those in the pan. Alright folks, you can see what that looks like down there. You got the onions chopped up. You can hear a little bit of sizzle going on. It smells great already. So you got your onion, salt, pepper, and canola oil and extra virgin olive oil. So we'll let that come up to heat. Okay folks, the onions are cooking. You can hear those sizzling away, looking good. We're about 2 minutes into it there. So now we're going to take a couple of cloves of garlic while the onions are going and chop those up. Best way to peel garlic, it's kind of a pain, The easiest way is take the knife on the side, give it a slight tap, and that breaks the skin. And from there, you can peel the skin off. You're good to go. This one's getting a little bit rotten, not too bad. We'll just chop that off. Overly ripe, I should call it. Take the other one, peel the skin off. Pops right off when you give it a little tap. I like to nip the ends, that hard piece on the end. And now you got some garlic without skin, ready to be chopped. Here. Similar to an onion, you just want to go all one way, real thin pieces as much as you can. And then go the other way, kind of a cross cut. And you're good to go. Now the flexible cutting board right now is killing me because, how's that right there, folks? Don't try that at home. So here we go, the cutting board, you get what you pay for. I got this cheap plastic thing, and I'll tell you, it's out of shape, and you can see it bouncing around. So I recommend that when you get the plastic cutting board, you get one that lies flat. As a matter of fact, I have one. Okay folks, we got the onions going, we got some garlic here just about chopped up. We're going to add this in. The onions have been cooking now for about 3 minutes. They're looking great. Chop that up. Finely chopped is good. You don't want to be, you don't want big chunks of garlic floating around in the sauce. Most of it will cook down and it'll dissolve, but the finer the better. Good. Okay folks, we have the onions and garlic. The sofrito, looking good. The onions are translucent and the garlic is kind of a pale gold. If it gets too dark on the burnt side, it'll really affect the flavor and you'll have to start over. So that's perfect. Now the first thing I like to do, I like to add a mixture. Zoom in a little bit. I like the whole peeled tomatoes. I like to do some of these. It adds a lot of nice texture to it. And we like to put these in first. And the easiest way, you can put them in a food processor, but it really gets to be a pain. Take a potato masher when they're in the bottom, and just mash them up a little bit. This is going to cook for a good 3 hours, so after 3 hours, they're really cooked down. Don't worry about having too big of chunks in there. See all the seeds floating around there. And there you go. Those are whole peeled, skinless tomatoes. Now, these are crushed tomatoes, and we'll put a can in it. That's it's a big can. That's equal to about 4 of these smaller cans. That size. So now we got to make sure the last thing you want to do, rinse this out with a little bit of cold water. Make sure you get all the tomatoes out. About 1/3 of a can of water per can of tomatoes is the way to go. So we got the cold water running. Rinse it. Now it might make the sauce a little more thin, but you can add back some paste if you need to. But really, this is actually going to be probably a perfect thickness with about 1/3 or less can of water per can of tomatoes. So that's it. There's really not that much more to it. I'll add in some black pepper, a little parsley, and a touch of sugar. Maybe with this amount, the sauce is up to about here. Probably add about 1/3, 1/4 cup of sugar or so, maybe a little bit less. Makes it nice and sweet. And that's it, you're good to go. This would be called a marinara sauce. We're going to follow this up, like I said, we're going to do a meatball recipe. We're going to add that to it. And Uncle Joe back home, when I was growing up, we used to call it gravy. But some Italians call it gravy, some call it sauce. But there you have it, Life is Hard TV, the cooking channel, life show.